Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Steel Donut Collective. My name's Connor. With me is just Blake.
Yep, that's on all he could get.
Well, we have a doozy of a story for you all. This is, the category doesn't matter. It's on writing.
Yeah,
but the story title, is, I need help coming up with a title. Seriously.
Oh, I believe you mean, I need help coming up with a title. Seriously.
Seriously. And let me just preface this by saying, do you guys remember Declaration Disastar? This is basically going to be like Declaration Disastar 2.
Yeah, the backyard silly makes another appearance.
Right. So this is by All American Girl 92. Blake, can you give the description?
This book is about 3 orphans are trying to survive, and then they get adopted by a single man and their adventures.
Nice. All right, so let's get into it. It's one long document, but it's broken up into multiple chapters, so we're starting Chapter 1.
Come on, hurry up,
shouted Kyle impatiently. Kyle, Kevin, and Kayla were trying to find shelter for the night.
The 3 Ks.
Yeah. It was a cold winter night, and the 3 orphans were wandering around Big Oak Park. They were siblings, actually triplets, and their parents died when they were 12.
Oh man, their parents were 12? Weird family.
Yeah,
must have been one of those communes or something. Also, Big Oak Park, I immediately get vibes of, what was that fucking thing, Scripture Sleuth, Pine Tops.
Oh, yeah.
The blue spruce apartment building.
Oh, yeah. Just name it after trees if you don't know what to name it.
Yeah, car in the corner.
Ever since then, the triplets had been taking care of one another. They had been living around the area, off the land, and had been trying to elude the police for not having an adult with them. That's a federal crime. Being an orphan.
Yeah.
This week particular had been hard since the police were on to them.
Yeah.
I just love the...
They're on your fucking case.
Kyle, who was born first, was the natural... They're triplets. How can one be... Okay.
Well, then all 3 come out at the same time. I think that would hurt.
Right, I guess. Kyle, who was born 5 minutes first, was the natural leader and the strategist. Strategist? Strategist. Kevin, who was born second, was the brave and strong one. And lastly, little Kayla, who was born third, was the quiet and shy, but clever and witty one.
Yeah, so, Kyle was the bold one, Kevin was the nerdy one, and Kayla was the fat one. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, reminds us of another classic trio. I love how this set of triplets shared one whole set of personality traits. There was no overlap. Put all their talents together and you had an unbeatable team.
You're telling me. 3 12-year-olds, and I'm pretty sure they're pretty beatable.
Yeah. Would you be able to take 3 12-year-olds in a fight?
Maybe. I'm going to say yes, actually, definitely. Here, I found a cave.
Shouted Kyle. A cave in a park? Maybe it's a, natural, whatever. Kayla and Kevin run up. They all pile in the tiny cave and start a small fire to keep warm.
What are we going to do now?
Asked Kayla nervously.
The police are on to us.
Number 1 on the federal hunt down list or whatever it is. World's Most Wanted. I think we should just do what we have been doing, replied Kevin.
Trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
No, we are going to head south.
Like birds, said Kyle.
Yeah, for the winter. But how? Why? When?
Asked Kayla nervously.
Well, we just need to figure out a way. I'd say the sooner the better.
Why does Kevin just not speak most of the time?
Oh, well, maybe he's the Theodore, I was just throwing them out in order, but I'm sure we'll find out which chipmunk they are.
He's the middle child, so he just, doesn't speak. The triplets then spend the night in the cave planning on how to get out of town. Around 6:45 in the morning, Kyle says,
Okay, you guys know what to do.
I'll ask the store clerk for a job, says Kevin.
And I'll beg for money on the street corner? Jesus.
Jesus.
You know, I don't know what was worse wording, the three, or a worse decision, I should say, the 3Ks or that.
Yeah, Kayla getting the real short end of the stick here.
Well, you said it, not me. Good. And while you two are doing that, I'll use a little bit spare change to make airline reservations. But if any cops come, run. Get back here and don't let them follow you.
Okay, 1, how much spare change do you have to get 3 plane tickets? 2, if Kevin is working a job and the police bust in, I don't know, it's gonna be kind of hard for him to get out of there. What? Why do the police care so much? Said Kyle, sounding full of authority. The 3 did their handshake, and off they went to put their plan into action.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, it's not gay in a 3-way.
Yeah. Once they got to 5th and Central Street, they put the... Central Street?
Yeah.
I've never heard of a Central Street. It's normally Main Street.
Well, you have left, right, and central.
Right. They put their plan into action. Kyle went to the payphone and made reservations for a flight in 2 weeks. That would be enough time to get enough money for the flight.
Yeah, he stood there for 2 weeks waiting to make the call.
Things were different back in 2009.
Oh gosh, yeah, they were.
Kayla then begged for money at the street corner. She looked as pitiful as she sounded.
Well, $20 will get you a Steamboat Willie.
Gee, you said it, not me.
Yeah, Prostitute Mickey out. Classic Flash cartoon.
Yeah. Kevin went into the drugstore to see if he could get a job. He ended up getting a job straightening products for $6 an hour.
That was before the federal minimum wage, so, you know.
Does this take place in 2009 or 1909?
Yeah.
He was to be there at 7 in the morning and he could leave at 4:30 in the evening.
If you want.
Didn't they need to get out of town like now?
Yeah. Dude, I love that. Could leave at 4:30 in the morning. Like it's an option. It's like working 9 to
Yeah. Later that night, when everyone was back at the cave, Kyle said,
"Well, Kevin, did you get a job?"
Actually, yeah. I know you thought I'd just be a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah, I signed up for the biannual fighting tournament, you know?
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah. I get $6 an hour for making everything in the drugstore look pretty. I have to be there at 7 and I quit at 4:30.
Yeah, you know.
Kevin excitedly.
One day, you know, I would recommend putting a lot of that paycheck into your 401k, you know, if you're only going to work a day.
Right.
You know? Sweet. Yes, quite sweet. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Replied Kyle.
So that means you get asterisk does math and head asterisk $57 a day. How much? I'm an android. How much did you make, Kayla?
Okay, hang on. That's 9.5 hours times 6. So 54, 57. That's okay. No taxes in this land.
Yeah, this is back, you know, this is an ideal America when they've returned to the Articles of Confederation.
Right.
And she's like, I got $22 today. Oh, I'm sorry, I got $22 today. There's a dollar sign and dollars.
Right. Wow. The hustle, the grind.
Yeah, dude, she made double dollars. Holy shit. Yeah. Trigon.
She said proudly.
Great job, everyone. Keep up the good work. We leave on January 4th. That's 2 weeks and 1 day from today. I'll get a job in the store, too. That way, we can get more money. I can guarantee that we will make at least $114 a day. But don't forget to add what Kayla makes. Now, everyone go to sleep. We have a big day tomorrow.
Oh, he can guarantee it.
Or your money back.
Yeah. So he's going to get the same job with the same hours.
Yeah. I mean, you know, set a goal and work towards it, you know?
Yeah. Hey. Everyone sleeps soundly that night. The next morning, Kyle wakes up around 6. He wakes his brother and sister up, and they go to the drugstore and buy a donut and a banana. They split them between the 3 of them. Kyle then goes up to the store clerk and asked for a job. He gets one as a dock boy, loading and unloading trucks. He gets $8 an hour. By the time the day was over, everyone was exhausted.
That was like a Dwarf Fortress log.
Yeah.
What the hell? And, you know, That's what, Matt's with me in spirit. That's what he would have said if he was here, I'm sure.
Did they survive the entire day off a donut and a banana?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the new diet. One donut, one banana.
Every detail that gets introduced, I'm trying to figure out, like, when this story takes place.
No. I mean, could you imagine how much weight you and I would lose if we ate just a donut and a banana a day?
Right. So there needs to be unchecked child labor where they don't even check to see if you have parents. But there also need to be trucks. So this is starting to be like 1930s, 40s?
Yeah, sling some papes,
Yeah.
Man, being a dock boy is hard work.
Working at the dock to put food on the table.
Sitting on the dock of the bay.
Yeah. Kyle said weakly as they walked back to the cave that night.
But heck. Oh, Christian server here, man.
Whoa, no swearing in my story.
But heck, I get $8 an hour. They say time is money, so they pay you in time. They give you an hour.
Right.
That's asterisk does math in head asterisk. A guaranteed $133 a day. Say, how'd you do today, Kayla? I got $55 today. People here are so nice.
Wow. She squeaked excitedly. At that point, they reach the cave and make their small fire and go to sleep. Within a week and 6 days, they have enough for all of their flights to Alabama. Nice.
And they were really trusting back then when they let you just book a flight with no deposit.
Yeah, 2 weeks in advance. Yeah, hi, I'd like 3 plane tickets for 2 weeks from now. Don't worry, I'll pay then. They just go sleep in a cave. Do they shower?
Dude, look at this fucking, the dreamland of the Alabama. Who wants to go to Alabama? No offense to Alabama.
They need to go south.
Oh yeah, they are, I forgot, they're backyard sillies.
Yeah, they're migratory birds.
The backyard silly is a migratory bird. It lives in the Dakotas and flies south to Alabama.
Kyle thought it would be a good place to go since not much happens there, and he heard that the people there were a good set of people.
Yeah, good, honest, salt of the earth, working class, blue collar, Christian people.
That phrase alone put the story back in at least the first half of the century. But
you know what I mean when I say good old-fashioned, salt of the earth, blue collar, hardworking, rough knuckle, genuine people.
Right. The next morning, they get up and go to the airport. They surprisingly make it past security and then get on the plane.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think this author doesn't know how anything works.
Yeah, they all had shoe bombs.
Yeah. They dose off on the flight.
Oh, they had drugs, never mind.
Yeah, that's the only way they could fall asleep on planes.
This is old school, so I'm guessing it's mescaline.
Yeah. Back when this story took place, Coca-Cola still had cocaine in it.
Yeah, cocaine cola.
Yeah. It takes about 3 hours altogether. At the end of the flight, the pilot comes over the loudspeaker and says, "All right, everyone, we will now start our descent into Birmingham, Alabama."
Or descent into Birmingham, Alabama.
Decent, yeah. Okay, I need to, yeah. Once the plane lands, the triplets then wander off into the airport and then into the town of Birmingham. Yeah. The airport was its own commune. It wasn't legally within the United States.
Again, Articles of Confederation,
Right.
And you go to Alabama where there's just decent, humble... I'm sorry. I'm so hungry. How much money do we have left?
Whined Kayla tiredly.
We have $6.53 left. That's enough for a small amount of food.
Whoa, you guys cut it close with those airplane tickets. Replied Kyle. Please, Kyle, please. Can we please get some food? I'm starving too, Kevin said, sounding annoyed. Oh.
Why do we care about these three? What is interesting about them?
They're having the adventure of a lifetime.
I guess.
In an alternate world where, you can just do what they're doing and no one will stop you.
No.
I just love the world that's built by this story, We're just there are no checks and balances. You could just get away with all this.
Yeah, you can get checks, but it's not balanced.
Right.
It's like Street Fighter 4 vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
If you two quit your blubbering, we can get some food.
Kyle snapped back.
Snap back to reality.
Oh, there goes reality. The triplets go in and get some food from the supermarket / drugstore.
Yeah, / barber / butcher shop, back in those days when you just did everything.
Everything's a drugstore, yeah. Kyle buys a snack-sized bag of chips, a large water bottle, and 2 grilled cheese sandwiches. In all, it cost $4.59. That meant they had $1.94 left. The triplets sit down on the curb and eat. Kayla eats some, then gives the rest to Kyle. She has a look on her face that Kyle and Kevin had never seen before.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, actually. This just reminds me, A, this all feels like it was generated by an AI, and B, it reminds me of a post I saw on Reddit's trashy place. It's not a great place to go anymore, but it used to be funny. And it was a picture of a sign in a gas station in Wisconsin, and it said meal deal. Cheesesteak, bag of chips, Coke, packet of Newports for $10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro.
Yeah, the classic dessert.
Yeah,
Some
man, gotta finish with a pack,
Uh-huh. Hey, Kayla, are you okay? Asked Kevin quietly.
What? Oh, yeah. Also, it wasn't Wisconsin, it was Ohio.
Oh. Kayla replies weakly, and she's obviously lying. Kayla, said Kevin sternly, if something's wrong, I need to know. The last thing we need is someone dying or something.
Yeah. If something wrong. He's like a fucking caveman,
Yeah. And then dying or something. Kayla jumps up and almost falls over.
Oh, man, the classic, rom-com, just... You need a girl to be interesting, you just make her clumsy.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those compilations?
Compilations?
Yeah, people make because it's a common thing in rom-coms for the main character, for her to be, quirky and relatable, they usually make her clumsy. And, so there's always a scene where she, is, walking and, just trips and falls over. And so, people make compilations on YouTube of, girls in rom-coms tripping.
Oh.
Because it's so common.
No, I guess I haven't seen compilations, really.
And I'm like, man, screenwriting is the easiest job in the world. It's like, we need this character to be interesting. What if she just fell flat on her face?
What if she just falls over?
There we go. Done.
Yeah. In Western media, the girls do it. In Eastern media, the guys do it. In the animes, they always fall on their face, with the sweat drop and all that.
Nosebleed, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'll be right back.
She calls over her shoulder to no one, because I presume they're all looking at each other.
She's about to crush some Pokemon.
Kevin follows her silently. He comes back right before she does and says to Kyle...
He come back right before she does.
Yeah. Oh, God, I keep reading things right on accident.
Yeah, turn off the autocorrect.
Oh, no. She just got sick. I was afraid she would be, the way her voice quivered as she said she'd be right back.
Bad.
What? When you get sick, you often leave. I'm trying to follow this train of thought.
No, man, it's rude. It's rude to leave. I'm sorry. Yeah,
right.
It is. You should just sit there and just vomit in the middle of the party.
When you get sick, you more easily abandon your, social code.
Yeah.
When I get sick, I often just, start trashing the place wherever I go.
Yeah.
Causing a big freaking mess.
Just act like we don't know anything. Follow my lead. Yeah, she's just, sitting there ooh, a big puddle of vomit, and it's just I just saw the most beautiful bird.
Hey, Kyle, I think we're going to have to take her out back and ditch her, if you know what I'm saying. She's becoming a liability.
Yeah, exactly. We're about to become twins.
Yeah. What? Triplets. We never had a third one. It was always just us two.
Yeah.
The twin bros. Been there, just the two of us since the start. Replies Kyle as Kayla walks up.
Hey, you okay? What happened?
Asked Kyle.
Oh, I thought, you ever had a dream that you, could be anything?
Yeah.
I thought I saw something. Guess I didn't.
Becoming sick makes you, stupid as well. Kayla replies quickly, stumbling over words. Oh, yeah, I guess she did run out to throw up. What's that on your shirt? Asked Kevin.
What? Oh, I guess it's food.
Kayla replied.
Kayla, it looks like you got sick. Is that why you ran off? Are you okay? You need to tell us.
If you have the frickin' zombie disorder, we're gonna have to put you down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is a post-apocalypse? Like, who gives a shit? People puke sometimes.
Kyle said, concerned and strictly.
Fine, yes. Yes, I got sick.
Yes.
I don't know why. Yes. But as soon as I ate, I felt terrible. In fact, I still don't feel all that great. Don't worry about it, though. I'll make it. I think it's just because of the flight.
Well, I mean, you did get gas station grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah.
But the other two seem to be doing fine, so...
I love that they're making this such a big deal. It's just like, Connor, did you, wash your dishes the other day? You need to tell me. I need to know.
No, Blake. I totally didn't wash my dishes yesterday.
You know that you should always use a dishwasher. Washing your dishes by hand, who knows what could happen.
I guess if Kayla is sick, then she can't beg for money on the street, and
she can't sell her body. Yes.
Yeah, and they can't get that extra 20 or $30 a day. Yeah, all of them need to be operating at peak performance if they're going to survive.
I mean, to be fair, imagine you saw someone panhandling and you're like, you know what? Oh, I have some extra money. I'm going to give it to him. You walk up to him and it's just like, all right, here's 20. And we're like, thank you so much. And vomit all over your shoes. It's like, oh God.
Yeah.
You would take that 20 right back.
Yeah, it's not good for the image. Kayla wailed.
Are you sure? Tell me or Kev, the guy who never talks, if it gets worse.
Never fucking speaks.
Let's go. And then he's going to be like, I want some food.
Yeah.
Let's go find some shelter. Give me
Kyle
shelter,
says, man. Oh boy, I hope they have a cave here in Birmingham.
Oh, dude, wouldn't it be sweet if rather than some shitty angst rock song, we got a Rolling Stones song and a songfic?
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Gimme Shelter shirts up here, because usually we have to have fucking Skillet or 3 Days Grace or some garbage.
I'm imagining it now. It's like in the movie. The triplets are I don't know, in a junkyard or just searching through abandoned areas for a place to stay, and it's the start of Gimme Shelter, whatever instrument that is, like the keyboard or whatever.
Yeah.
The triplets set off to find shelter for the night. They find an old tarp and rope. They tie the tarp up like a tent. They lay there and rest.
Yeah, I thought they were going to hang themselves and then cover their bodies respectfully.
Yeah. Yeah.
They fucking tie the tarp up. That doesn't work. If you want to drape a tarp over a rope, you need to tie the rope to something. You also need something to hold down the sides of the tent.
It's just they tie one corner of the tarp up in the air and just all try to fit under it.
It's just if they say so, they lay there and rest. Yeah.
The adventure games player in you is really hurting.
It is, yes. I feel a lot better now, said Kayla. I'm sorry, what? I feel a lot better now.
Yeah, said Kayla.
I think it was just the flight. I'm glad,
said Kyle, yawning. The next thing, all of they realize the sun is shining and they are waking up to a cold but sunny day.
Oh man, I wonder what exciting thing will happen next. Are you guys hungry? Because if you are, well, you'll have to wait until later. We need to get some more money before we can eat.
This is like resource management, Kyle said, stretching.
Remember our jobs from last time? Well, let's continue.
I mean, you can find new jobs if you want.
Long commute, man.
Yeah. They head off to town to find work. Kevin and Kyle get a job in the local drugstore. Kayla does her begging. Oh, they all go back to just doing the same thing.
A woman's place is on the street corner, I guess.
What the they're all the... Yeah.
Why do they do the same shit?
The The boys get jobs and they even get a lunch break this time. Okay, so they didn't get a lunch break before, so they definitely lived off of just like a donut and a banana each day.
I
Wonderful.
ate a donut and a banana.
Later in the day, right around noon, the boys get a lunch break. Yeah, that's how that works.
Also,
lunch
for the record,
doesn't
that
happen.
song is Copacabana by Barry Manilow, because no one's going to know.
Lunch doesn't happen at like 6 p.m. Kayla is still begging. Thanks, I didn't think she was doing anything different. The boys are in store getting a free lunch from the manager when all of a sudden they hear...
oh my gosh, the little girl collapsed. Help someone. Not help, comma, someone, but help someone.
Yeah.
Just find a random
nice
person.
person today.
Yeah, random act of kindness, man.
Right, yeah. Kyle and Kevin run out. They see Kayla laying on the ground, face first.
It's just fucking face planted.
Face first, laying on the ground.
I just imagine her, like, not, like, sprawled out, but, like, planking. Just hands to her sides, you know, just...
Right.
Kayla!
They both shout simultaneously and sprint towards her.
Kayla, of course, Kayla, come on, wake up.
Kyle shouts at her as he kneels by her side. Kayla, you freeloader, wake up!
No sleeping on the job.
Yeah. What do we do? What do we do? Cries Kevin.
You'd best get her to a hospital. Would you like for me to call 911? I'd be glad to help.
Oh, said a man.
I don't think we should. I think we should definitely let her die, you know. Only the strong survive.
Survival of the fittest, dear sir, said Kyle, trailing off.
She sure took a spill. She would be best off with proper care.
The man said. How bad can you hurt yourself just like fainting, I guess? Well, I don't know. She was on the sidewalk, so.
Oh. We just can't. I couldn't impose on the hospital.
So, yeah. I wouldn't want to do that to them, said Kyle.
May I ask why?
Asked the man.
We don't have the money. We barely have $10.
Kyle said, embarrassed. Wow, what an indictment of the U.S. healthcare system.
And brass like a goat.
What about your parents? Can't they pay?
Asked the man. This is the best response to that. Mommy. Dad! Cried Kevin sadly. He buried his head in his hands and slumped over.
It's okay, Kev. It's okay. Let's concentrate on Kayla right now.
Stop getting emotional for our dead parents, Kevin. Screw you. It's not the time. Kyle said, trying to hold back his own tears. Oh,
I remember when Dave just randomly started crying where are the Chipmunks?
Yeah.
Dave said through tears, and it's like, why? Calm down.
Calm down.
No, dear, I didn't mean to upset you, son. I'm sorry. If you don't mind me asking, why can't your folks pay?
The man asked kindly, now kneeling down to the triplets.
Well, I'm a little baby.
The response was, Mom, Dad! And you're like, I have no idea what happened here. What's going on?
They're dead. They got in a car accident when we were 12. We've been fending
12.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, a lot has changed. We've been fending for ourselves ever since. It's just us, the triplets.
Kyle said, now really struggling to hold back tears.
I'll pay the bills.
The man said.
No, you couldn't. We couldn't ask such a thing.
Kyle said politely.
You didn't ask. I offered, and I will. I won't accept no for an answer. We need to get your sister the proper care.
Oh, the man said, and he called 911. The ambulance was there in minutes. They asked Kyle and Kevin all kinds of questions about Kayla.
What's her favorite color? Does she like flowers? I like flowers, personally.
When they get to the hospital, Kayla is rushed off, and Kyle, Kevin, and the man sat in the waiting room nervously. And if you wonder, hey, when is he going to say his freaking name to them? Don't worry, he is now.
I mean, this is, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe this is some sort of political metaphor. They're saying, like, the man, you know, the government should pay for healthcare.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
My name is James Bradley. I'm 25 years old and I work as a professor at the local college. You kids can stay with me until everyone is well.
Okay. Further dating the story by having a 25-year-old be able to easily get a job at a college.
Yeah.
This is like straight up back in the 1800s by this point. I'm convinced the planes were the thing that were, out of time here. The man said.
Mr. Bradley, that is such a generous offer, but we wouldn't want to be a burden to you. We are 3 16-year-old kids. We couldn't ask that of you.
They started the story 12, right?
Yeah, they were 12 earlier. They just, they've been here a while.
Oh, no, wait. Their parents died when they were 12.
Oh, it started when I was 12.
Kyle said with a shaky voice.
I insist. You kids have been through a lot. I have a fairly large house and I get a fairly decent paycheck each month. Please, stay with me.
Oh, hold
James
me
said.
now.
It's actually really, funny that I ended up being Kevin, because much like Kevin, I also just sit there and don't speak at all while things happen. I let everyone else do the talking, James said.
Yeah, man, that's how life is. Thank you so much, sir.
Kyle said. Just then the doctor came in and said, "Who here is with Kayla?" Kyle, Kevin, and James all stand up. They follow the doctor. They walk into Kayla's room and they see her laying there, eyes closed, breathing lightly but deeply.
Well, her head was crushed, her chest was crushed.
Lightly but deeply? Try to do that. Try to breathe lightly but deeply.
Well, usually when I breathe deep, it's like...
Right, you've got to do that, but really lightly as well.
So now it's like...
It's almost like you've got to put a silencer on.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Kevin then broke down crying like a bimch. Kyle walked over to the bed, held Kayla's hand, and said,
Hey, Kayla. It's me, Kyle. I'm here. Kevin's here. You don't have to worry. You're going to be okay.
It's us, ya boys. Just then...
Breaking news.
Best way of doing this. Just then.
Kyle. What happened?
Said a small voice. Kyle jumped with joy.
Kevin, she's okay. She's awake. She's talking. Kevin.
She just passed out. What, did you think she went into a coma?
Oh man, they're like a fucking, it's like, they're like, they have no sense of, what is it, the object permanence or something? They think you go to sleep, they just assume that you never wake back up.
Alright, this story has, I now assume this story is taking place in the early 18th century. Or would it be the 19th century? The 1800s. And that Charles Dickens may have actually written this.
No.
Kyle shouted happily. Kevin, come over.
Yeah, it's a short word from Charles Dickens called Low Expectations.
Bad expectations.
Don't expect much.
Yeah. Kevin, come over, and holds Kayla's other hand. God, imagine that. You're lying in a hospital bed, someone comes up, holds your hand, someone else comes up, holds your other hand.
Put your hand in the hand, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, how are you, Kay? You okay? Bad. Kevin asks sweetly.
Every kiss begins with K. Who's that?
Asked Kayla weakly, pointing towards James.
Oh, that's James Bradley. He's the one who called 911. He is going to pay the bills and said we can live with him until you get your strength back. What do you say?
Kyle explained.
Yeah, sure. Sounds great. Man, I'm tired.
Boy, am I pooped. Kayla says.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
Okay then, Kay. Get some rest. Kevin said sweetly.
Okay, Kay.
Okay, Kay. So, chapter 2. Kayla. Period. Honey, you need to rest. You're bouncing off the walls. You won't get better if you keep being so active. Now go to bed and wait for lunch, said Dr. Jenny. Okay, I don't know. I guess she was like a freaking skeleton. Skin and bones.
But I don't want to. I want to go with my brothers and get out of here.
Kayla said blissfully. What? As she climbed into bed. That's not the word I'd use.
Yeah.
Where do you live, sweetie? Asked Dr. Jenny. Kayla thought of what to say, because she didn't want to give their secret away. She looks Kyle. He gives her the go ahead and do something to avoid the question look.
Classic fanfiction.
Uh-huh. She winks. It's their silent agreement. Then suddenly, asterisk gasp, exclamation point asterisk, she grabs her throat. What
I can't
happened?
Breathe.
Kayla gasps. Kyle jumps up along with Kevin. What? Why do they jump up?
The fuck is going on?
I don't know. Are they about to, like, throw her in the casket and, like, do that dance? You know, that was the big meme.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so old. I need some help in here, shouts Dr. Jenny. Kayla, lay down, sweetie. We are going to help you breathe, okay? Just relax. Kyle and Kevin, who is she closest to?
I don't know, maybe she's as close to them as we are.
Yeah? Okay. Well, me, said Kevin. Okay, come over and stand on her left side. Keep a hold of her at all times and keep talking to her. Keep her comfortable. What fucking advice is this? What is...
Hey, go get some boiling water and towels.
Are we okay? This story's gone back into the Middle Ages by this point.
Yeah, go get the leeches and the bloodletting knife.
Okay. She can't breathe, so stand on her left side. Keep a hold of her at all times. Kyle, hold her legs down. She'll start to kick as we put the tube down her. Oh, okay. We'll start on 3. Okay, so the only way to help someone who can't breathe is to jam a tube down into their lungs.
Yeah. You jam a tube up your ass and then you defibrillate yourself until you breathe again. Works every time.
Sexy.
You know, I cured my asthma that way.
Right.
I never had asthma.
Will this hurt her? Asked Kevin nervously.
See, judging the whole wink and smile thing, I assumed that they were, like, faking something to get, like, hospital food or some shit. Like, I thought this was, like, a goof, but, like, no. Apparently they did a wink and smile, and then she coincidentally happened to have an attack.
Yeah, just coincidentally.
Because I was, like, wondering what the fuck is going on. I was like, I don't know what the plan is here, but I think it's going wrong, because you have a tube being put down your throat.
I don't want to answer that question, so I'm going to get sent to solitary confinement. Watch this.
I'm playing the long game. I'm going to have a tube down my throat. I'll go through chemotherapy.
Yeah. I'll get on the Make-A-Wish Foundation. John
there we go.
Will come visit me.
Yeah, just so I can meet Michael Strahan.
I'll die. Big goof. Okay. It may. Just help her stay calm, Dr. Jenny replied. Everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. Dr. Jenny starts to put the tube down Kayla's throat. Kayla fights it. They hold her down and get it down her.
I'll just get her in there.
They're done. You're okay, sweetie, Dr. Jenny said reassuringly. She walks out of the room and Kyle said,
Man, Kayla, that was a good job of avoiding the question. Good one. Bazinga.
Good one, Kayla. Kayla's eyes get big.
What?
Asked Kyle. He hands her a whiteboard and marker.
What? She's just going to write a fucking novel. I didn't do that to avoid the question. I was going to just get up and run. I tried to, but then I just couldn't breathe.
Kayla wrote. Is this okay?
So it was like I was saying. He was like me. He thought it was a goof, but it was for real.
Who's playing who? Yeah. Kyle doesn't say anything. He just looks at her and walks away.
Yeah, it's
disappointed.
Like the Weston game meets Knives Out,
Yeah. James then comes over and says,
Hey, Kayla, how are you, sweetheart?
Kayla gives him that I'm okay, I guess look.
You know the look.
You know the one. Oh, About 2 days later, Dr. Jenny come in and says, "Good news, Kayla. You could go home today. Where do you live?"
At home. Home is where you live.
Kayla replies nervously, "Do you have any drugs or alcohol in your system?" Let me check.
I'm going to have to write you a ticket.
Dr. Jenny then says, "Where is home, Kayla? I need to know to send the bill."
No. Kayla then looks over.
She didn't find it weird at all that the parents, never came.
Yeah. It's that new long-distance parenting technique.
Right. Kayla then looks over at James and her brothers. Okay, for some reason I thought James had brothers now. James walks up to Dr. Jenny and says,
"Send the bill to 33121 Seasons Court, Birmingham, Alabama, 66786.
Oh, better not be doxing yourself with that.
I'm just taking a look.
It up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Birmingham, Alabama. Let's say. No, it doesn't exist.
And you'll find, Seasons Court was a street that was, existed until 1875, at which point it was repaved. And they'd be like, "Oh my god, the ghost is writing this."
This is my history assignment.
"Sounds great. Thanks," said Dr. Jenny gleefully. "Give me your money." Once Kayla gets out of the hospital, Kyle says to James,
Thanks for everything. We'll let you be now." "Oh no. Come home with me. You guys can get rest and get your strength back at my house. Please come stay with me."
Wasn't this already said and decided?
I'm 25, but I'm like a lonely old person. I just want some company.
25 or 65? I have a feeling I'll be asking that question.
Back in those days, 25 was 65.
Yeah.
You lived to be 30,
Yeah. The triplets agree. They all go home with James and rest up. After a week, Kevin says to James, James, we feel bad about just laying around. We all would like to pitch in and help with chores. Kayla's great with cooking, of course. I'm good at bedroom cleaning, and Kyle's great at yard work.
Scrub the semen right out of them sheets, sir.
Please, can we help out?
"Oh, sure, if you really want to,"
replied James. So with that, the kids start doing what they are good at. God,
they're
16.
Share
an entire set of personality traits between the three of them, they also share, a set of, being good at things in between them.
Back in those days, being 16 was you were an adult.
Yeah.
You were pregnant at 13 because, again, the life expectancy was fucking 40.
Yeah. James is the old teacher, at the college.
Hey, he's an old man and they're adults. It's
yeah. Oh.
The kids.
Kayla makes the most amazing dinner that night.
Yeah, we could tell from their diet of gas station food that they had great cooking skills.
You could tell from the words that the story used.
No.
They all sit down to eat and they have a wonderful time. Kyle and James sit in the living room after dinner and talk.
Things that bother you never bother me.
Kevin goes to his room and plays fucking Xbox all day. I don't know.
Well, once you guys leave, I don't know what I'll do. I've come to love you guys. You're like family to me.
Didn't you adopt them? What? James said sadly.
We'll miss you too. You're like a dad to us. In a fucking paragraph, you became a dad to us. You have helped us so much. I don't think we could ever repay you.
Kyle said quietly.
I have an idea. Be here at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, James said with a smirk on his face.
I'll get out of work a little early, so be here, okay?
I'm scared.
Okay, sounds good to me. My body is ready. I'll let the others know.
Kyle replied. That night, Kyle, Kevin, and Kayla do their handshake right before bed.
Yeah, they all just throw up a Hail Hitler.
And then they all crawl in bed for the night, right as they are falling asleep, and James comes in. Oh no.
I'll love you forever. I'll love you for always. Good night, Kayla.
He says, kissing her head.
Oh, no comma, kissing her head. Good night, Kevin.
God, he says, kissing his head.
Kissing his head. Good night, Kyle.
He says, kissing his head.
Kissing his head. Sleep tight, guys. I'll see you in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry, sleep tight, guys. See you in the morning. I love you.
Weird. The next morning, the kids get up, make their beds, and go downstairs to see a big breakfast awaiting them. There was a note.
Good morning, kids. Hope you slept well. I had to leave to get to work. I'll be home at 3:25 this afternoon.
That's how it works. What were you doing every day before this?
Well, remember he's getting off a little early?
Yeah, but didn't you have to go to work before this?
Yeah. Please be here. I have a surprise for you. All my love. James.
I don't want this surprise. I'm scared. Hold me, Blake.
Hold me now.
The kids chowed out.
He's going to give him a horse to ride off on. Okay, guys.
Kyle says.
Let's take what money we have and go buy a pair of nice new clothes for each of us. Let's try to look good for James this afternoon. We'll surprise him, too.
Instead of looking like complete shit.
Yeah.
And with that, the triplets head off into town and start shopping.
Yeah, go get a nice, tan and wax.
Right, yeah. Kyle and Kevin both get a pair of khaki pants with a red polo with brown dress shoes. Kayla gets a khaki floor-length skirt. Does a khaki skirt make sense?
Not if you're trying to look good.
Kayla gets a khaki floor-length skirt and a red polo. Why are they all wearing red shirts? This is weird. And a red polo and white camisole and a pair of brown high-heeled shoes. Once they are done shopping, it's 2:00. On the way home, Kayla wants to stop and get stuff to make a pumpkin pie. I assume it's, capital letters because this was when the pumpkin pie was invented and trademarked.
I could go for a fucking pumpkin pie right now. I don't know about you.
At the supermarket. After they go to the supermarket, they rush home and get showers and put their new clothes on. By the time the pie was baked and everyone was showered, it was 3:24. Sure enough, right at 3:25, the door opens and James appears.
Punctual, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey kids, I've got a surprise for you.
We know, James shouts.
Where are you? In the kitchen.
They all shout. James walks into the kitchen and there were the triplets, dressed like triplets.
Yeah, in ugly-ass outfits.
Dressed like triplets, a fresh pumpkin pie baked and cooling, and a sign that said, "We love you, James," in the background.
Oh, guys.
James cries, almost in tears.
He's a Dave. I love you. You were so amazing. Now I have a big surprise for you.
No. One. This might be the first group of triplets that actually deliberately chose to all dress the same.
Yeah, maybe.
Normally that's a thing like the parents make, multiple, siblings do for family portraits.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a 2, but I don't remember it. Oh, yeah. 2. We know there's a surprise. Get to it. Okay.
What?
The triplets shout in unison.
Today I got some papers. If you would like, I can legally adopt you. I have come to love you as my own.
James said. The triplets look at each other.
Yes!
Yes!
Yes.
Yes! They all cry. All right, on to chapter 3. That night, James takes all the triplets out to dinner. As dinner ended, he said,
Guys, I have filled out the papers. Tonight we will go to the courthouse and make it official. Then if we get approved, which I'm sure we will, then I'll take you out for ice cream sundaes. Sounds good? Yeah, it's a fucking sit-in procedure.
Yeah.
You walk in and it's like, I filled out these forms. Can I have these kids here? It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I filled out form 6431B. May I have this child?
Yeah, I filled out form OU812.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Kyle said. Me, too. said Kevin. Weird combo.
I guess. Sure, I'm outvoted as it is.
What, you have a problem with it, Kayla? You don't want to get adopted? All right, your ass can go back on the street corner.
What the fuck?
After, Kayla said cautiously.
Yeah, I guess if you fucking pieces of shit want to eat ice cream, then be my guest. Like,
yeah. After dinner was over, they piled into James's car and went to the courthouse. The kids had to wait outside. They stood out there. Then they sat out there. Then they stood again. Then Kevin and Kayla started to pace. It was 4 hours that they waited. Why didn't they go inside?
Glad we had nothing better to do. Also,
why
like,
do
the
you have to leave
24-hour
the kids
courthouse
outside? You can't bring the kids in?
Dude, that night, this is like, what kind of courthouse is open at like fucking 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah. Or like 11 at night by this point.
Yeah.
It was 4 hours that they waited. Kayla then said...
You know, I've heard of Vegas weddings. I've never heard of a Vegas adoption. That's what this shit is.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at the front of the building. I'll be back soon.
They're all at the back of the building? What?
Yeah, again, they're like
this
fucking...
Is why it took,
this is
why it took 4 hours. James got detained for sneaking in through the back.
Again, this is some Vegas, like, you know, under the table sort of bullshit.
Yeah, what?
Be careful. Don't talk to strangers. Get in anyone's car with them. Or anything like that. Okay?
I like the punctuation there.
Yeah,
and also, how dumb is Kayla if Kyle needs to remind her of this?
Also, they're 16 now. Like, getting into cars with strangers?
Yeah, what? Kyle said, sounding like a father?
What are you, my father?
Question mark, exclamation point. Kayla said jokingly.
James. You know what? I think James was meant to say that.
What?
Doesn't that make way more sense? Because she's resentful of being adopted by James. Wouldn't it make more sense if James was trying to say something fatherly and she bitched at him?
I guess so.
I mean, it doesn't make it...
James is still in there going through the 6-hour procedure to adopt the kids.
Well, I mean, you know, it just makes more sense if he says it, because, like, that follows what happened before, where she was, like, resentful of this shit.
Yeah, why is she resentful?
Of Kyle, yeah.
Why is she resentful? She fucking passed out. She was doing so bad as an orphan.
Well, the punctuation makes her sound bitchy, but according to this, she's saying it jokingly? This is just bad.
It is. Kayla said jokingly. Then she started towards the front of the building. As she rounds the corner, away from her brothers, she starts crying. All she could think about is her real parents. She wanted to love James like a father, but no one could ever replace her parents. So she's going through emotional, conflict here.
Yeah.
She walks and walks and walks, and eventually looks up.
I dog and dog.
The courthouse, she thought to herself. Wow, she got so deep in thought, she meant to just round the building and instead went to another state.
Yeah, not even the courthouse. Where is the courthouse?
Courthouse, she thought to herself. She then wanders over to a tree and sits down. She waits, hoping that her brothers will find her.
The fuck?
What? Why don't you turn around and start walking that way?
Yeah. You know when you're upset, Connor, you just go outside, you just start walking in random directions.
Oh, I am just a frail girl. I have no sense of direction. If I walk for too long one way, then I will never get back home on my own.
Here I go again on my own.
Kayla sits there and waits and waits and waits. It's getting dark and she's getting scared.
I sure hope they find me soon. It's getting cold and dark and scary and I miss my brothers.
You suck. She says aloud to herself. She sits there and no one comes. She's scared that they will never find her. The next thing she knows, she's waking up the next morning in a pile of leaves.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. Like, are you even human?
She woke up in a hefty bag.
Yeah. She woke up in a dumpster. She looks around. No brothers, no home, no courthouse, no nothing. Semicolon, just woods. You went to the woods?
How far did you walk?
How did you not even... You were so sad about your parents, you didn't even notice that there stopped being buildings. God. She starts to cry. She then decides to go find some food, make a shelter, and basically make camp. She had no idea how long she'd be stuck out there.
Jesus Christ, did you walk for days? How far away could you possibly be?
This is straight up a literal, I live here now.
It is. This is the most insane shit I ever saw. Like, Connor, if you got lost in town, would you just be like, I guess I have no home anymore?
I guess I'm just done.
I'm homeless.
Yeah. The street lights are my lanterns, and this corner is my bed.
People just see you like, aren't you? I used to see you at the store. I thought you were. What happened to you, man? I thought you were like, successful. And it's like, no, man, got lost. I mean, this is just what I do now.
Yeah.
Couldn't find my way back home. A lost service. Couldn't get Google Maps pulled up, and
yeah, I parked my car somewhere, and I can't find it now. So there's no way out of this.
There's nothing I could possibly do.
This is my life now.
She walked so far before she can't even see town.
Yeah. Kayla sets to work making a tent out of giant leaves and vines.
Not how that works at all. I've taken a few...
Where are you? Did you walk into the jungle?
Did you walk into, like, fucking, like, a fantasy universe? Giant leaves?
She walked from Birmingham down through Central America, into South America, into the Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck? I've taken a few classes in outdoor survival. I can tell you usually don't make tents out of giant leaves and vines.
Okay. Next, she finds some edible leaves and a few wild berries. The next thing she realizes, it's getting dark. Oh my god, she's been here a whole day.
I'd better make a fire,
she thought to herself.
But I don't want anyone to come and take me. I know, I guess she doesn't want the people to see her? Like, yeah, the things in the woods. I know, I'll do what we used to do back in Michigan. I'll make a whole fire.
She starts to dig, but the ground is still frozen.
Frozen?
What? Yeah, how cold does it get in winter in Birmingham, Alabama? Like, sure, it gets colder, but I don't think it gets, like, freezing.
Yeah, she had to get out her ice drill and just...
The ground is not frozen here in Alabama like it was in Michigan, sweetie. She then grabs a strong stick, some of vine, and a sharp flat rock. She uses the vine to tie the rock onto the stick. She had a spade. Huh. I guess.
What's wrong with calling a spade a spade?
She digs the ground out to make a decent-sized hole, semicolon, about 3 feet deep, 2 feet wide.
3 feet deep in frozen ground.
I assume you're suffering more than me since you took that survival class. I'm just sitting here like, kinda understand. I saw some Man vs. Wild back in the day.
She tied a rock to a stick and managed to dig a 3 feet by 2 foot hole. That's insane. In frozen ground. That's impossible. Like, unless you're fucking Popeye.
She may be awful at living, just like in society, but she is an auteur at survival.
Yeah.
Out here.
She's something else.
Yeah. Next, she gets sticks to use as firewood. She then realizes she doesn't have anything to light the fire with. She then starts shuffling her feet, pacing and thinking. Oh, I thought she was going to light the fire just by shuffling her feet.
Friction, yeah.
Yeah. She kicked some leaves and saw a lighter.
Oh, it is an adventure game. You just you click on the leaves, hotspot, and I searched through the leaves and found a lighter.
She picks it up. It's half full of lighter fluid. She gets so excited. She goes to the hole and lights the sticks and leaves. It takes.
Yeah, well, fire does take. But
yeah, I see. Okay. That does technically make sense as a sentence.
It's just it takes.
She then huddles there trying to stay warm. She's out in the woods for days, maybe weeks.
You don't
maybe
know?
It was only a few hours. She didn't know. She had lost track of time about 2 hours after she left her brothers.
Maybe you are like a literal dog, because how do you have that bad a sense of time?
Can you see the sun? The sun I mean, sure, it's wintertime, but the sun should still be a pretty good sign of how long it's been.
Yeah, just mark it off on a tree, you scratch it off like you're in a prison cell. I mean, how the fuck do you not know? It's just like, hey, Connor, how long have we been recording this? Days, weeks, and only a few hours?
Maybe a month. I was out there for many moons and even more days. Sounds like you just slept through some moons.
Some moons and a couple of suns as well.
Yeah. God. Each day she does a little less and is more tired, less hungry, a lot colder, and she just didn't feel like herself.
She is the most interesting man in the world.
Wait, yeah. Every day that goes by, she does less stuff, gets more tired overall, but eats more and more.
Yeah, I guess it's saying her stomach is shrinking.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
She's eating less, and so she's experiencing less hunger. I don't know. What? Oh, I'm sorry, what? What are those bright lights? What's that awful noise? It sounds like dogs. Are people yelling? Oh well, I'm going to lie.
She thought to herself, and then she was out. She was in and out of it for what seemed like hours.
Over here.
Shouted a loud, deep, but soothing voice.
That's perfect. I gave him the right voice.
Yeah.
I think I found something. It looks like a person. Come on, hurry.
Kayla doesn't even budge at the voice. She's too weak.
The
noise that disappears. She opens her eyes again a minute later and she's in the air moving.
The noise may have disappeared, but then I found their CD and Connor uploaded it on his YouTube channel.
Right,
Card in the corner, I guess.
Cards, just go to my channel and go back a few months.
Yeah. I'm flying!
I'm flying! Flying away! She thinks to herself. She then falls asleep again.
That's the North Star and straight on till midnight,
Yeah. The next thing Kayla does is cracks open her eyes and she thinks she sees Kevin and Kyle, but quickly closes them because the bright lights hurt. Oh, so relatable.
Yeah.
She thinks to herself,
I must be dreaming again. I'm in the woods with no one, all alone, freezing. I'm seeing things. I hope someone finds me soon.
Why do you exposition to yourself? Or not even exposition, just like...
bullshit. You bullshit
just
to yourself.
Just like narrate what's going on. Who does this? Who does anything Kayla did this chapter? And then she's out again. Next time she wakes up, she's in a bed with white walls all around. Those are how walls work. A coat hanger with wheels with little tubes coming off of it attaching to her. Blankets after blankets on top of her. And above her, something is beeping. She swears she sees Kevin and Kyle over a ways, but they look so far away.
So far away.
I know.
Been far away for far too long. I've been working on my Chad Kroger impression. Am I dead? Is this heaven?
She thinks to herself. Just then, a figure comes over to her. She opens her eyes, but just barely. Her eyes are already open. Okay. She opens her eyes, but just barely.
Look, if Drax can stand up 3 times, then she can open her eyes twice. Kevin.
She breathes silently. Then the figure walks away, but it brings back another 2 figures. She moans and covers her eyes. Then the third figure brings back another figure.
This is like a word problem at this point. There, you see a figure. The figure walks away and brings back 2 figures. The figure goes away. A third figure walks in. It's like, okay.
And then that third figure brings another one.
Jeez, how many angels are going to stare at me? Or is that one Jesus? I don't know. Ouch, I can't bend that way.
What? What did you try to do?
Spirit yoga. They're fucking tying her up in knots.
I didn't know backs could bend that way. She thinks to herself. The 4th angel then says,
Kayla? Hey, Kayla, sweetie, open your eyes for me. Come one. You can do it. I know you can.
With a soothing, sweet, kind voice, she opens her eyes and realizes, it is Kevin and Kyle, and James, too. She moans and tries to sit up. She falls back. She is too weak to hold herself up.
Hey, how are you? Are you okay? What happened? I'm so glad they found you. I was so worried about you, honey.
I miss you so much, baby.
Oh, Pooh Bear, I was so worried about not getting you, honey.
James said, sobbing. I guess this, yeah.
Please don't do anything like that again. Okay, I won't. Okay, thanks.
Will you? I don't trust you.
I love you, James. Or, Daddy.
What? Kayla says?
Kyle, Kevin, where are you? They're standing right there. You said you saw
blind.
them. You said you saw them.
I'm blind.
It said, it is Kevin and Kyle and James too.
Yeah, why? She sobs. Kevin and Kyle then hurry over and hug her. I guess they left somewhere in that sentence. And hug her and reassure her that everything is okay.
Is this heaven? Are we all angels? Did you all die too?
Yeah, you guys all went looking for me, got lost in the woods, had to forge your own trail. She asks politely. Politely? No, silly. Why would you ask that? Dr. Jenny says.
Well, it's really white. It's warm. You guys... well, I mean, they are the 3Ks.
Yeah.
It's really white. It's warm. You guys are angels. And I was flying earlier.
Kayla replied, confused. Okay, first, you're in the hospital, not heaven. Second, we're not angels. You just thought that because you thought you were in heaven. And that was the EMT picking you up to bring you here. I like Dr. Jenny.
Yeah, she said, me, you're angels?
I was trying to think of a song to reference about, angels or something. All I could think of was When Angels Fall by Breaking Benjamin, and that's not the right song.
I was thinking of Angels Among Us. I forget who it is, his country band.
Yeah, see, I'm a country or something more, religious.
I believe there are angels among us.
Yeah.
They come down.
Yeah. Dr. Jenny replied, explaining every little thing in great detail. Kayla could understand it. But did the author understand it? Kayla nods.
So when can I go home?
Kayla asks. Depends on how you do. If you do well, then soon. If you do poorly, then later.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Yeah, what? What are they going to have her do?
You'll have to run the course, Kayla.
We only let one person out a week, Kayla.
Part of
you have to prove yourself, Kayla.
Yes, part of the new eugenics program, we must only allow the strong to survive.
Yeah, you're starting off at the very bottom of the list, Kayla. You do look potentially too stupid to live, Kayla.
Yeah, you're pretty dumb.
About a week later, Kevin is piggybacking Kayla out of the hospital. If she can't stand up yet, I don't think she's ready to go.
They don't even have wheelchairs. They haven't been invented yet.
Right. This was before that.
Yeah. Where's James? He hasn't been here since the first few hours I got here.
Kayla asked Kyle.
He's at home, making sure everything is in top shape for you to come home. Home.
Kyle said, smirking.
Why does he have to smicker so much? It's like he's just a fanfic character, so he has to smirk.
Yeah. Kayla shrugs and nods. When they get home, Kevin takes Kayla to the basement, sits her on the couch in the rec room.
Yeah, right in the rumpus room.
Cave?
Dude, wouldn't you love it if you had a house with a rumpus room?
Yeah, I don't know, the local Birmingham college football team posters lined the walls.
What is a rumpus room? Look it up.
It's where you sit your rump down, I guess.
A room for play and parties. A recreation room for noisy activities, parties, or children's play. So it is another word for a rec room. I heard it in older books and stuff, but I was always like, what the fuck, a rumpus room?
Kevin and Kyle then go upstairs to the bedrooms. They then come down with James. All of them are smirking. Oh, God.
The DreamWorks smirk, bro.
Kayla's gonna become a sacrifice. Kayla is confused, but excited at the same time. She knows that look. Whenever her brothers get it, they usually have something big planned or a surprise for someone. Okay. They all lead her upstairs and tell her to close her eyes. She does as she is told and is then led to her room.
Okay, Kayla, open your eyes,
said Kyle. Kayla just gasps. She cannot find words. Instead, she stammers.
What? How? When? Who? It is so cool.
It was all James's idea. He had the idea to redo your room while you were in the hospital. He thought it'd be a nice surprise when you came home.
Oh, I thought it'd be, laddie.
You don't want to reward Kayla's behavior like that. You should have stripped out her room.
Did you hear how much of a simp this guy is? Of course he is.
Kevin said. Kayla just hugs James.
I couldn't have done it without your brothers, though. They told me everything you liked and disliked. I'm glad you like it. Now let's get some dinner.
Let's eat some
dinner.
James said cheerfully.
Dude, there'll never be a day when that's not funny. We'll be 100 years old and we'll still be...
Yeah.
We'll be in the nursing home, you and me, I guess. And I'll be like, hey, you want to go down to the cafeteria for some dinner? And we'll all just crack up. And the people will be like, oh, take your medications. In a minute.
Kayla said.
You guys go ahead. I want to explore my new room first. I'll be down in 15 minutes. Then we can go to dinner.
Dinner.
James and the boys nodded and then left. Kayla then set about exploring her new room. Oh god, I remember this paragraph. I want to read this whole paragraph. This is insane. This is fucking wild. Kayla's new room was baby pink and bright green. It had heart-shaped windows and a butterfly-shaped mirror.
Expensive.
It had a queen-sized bed with a multicolored polka dot down quilt. It had the newest computer available, a huge bookshelf, a phone, an intercom system, posters of her favorite celebrities and sports stars. There was even a 72-inch plasma screen HD/LCD TV, a huge stereo set that held 7 CDs at a time, and tons of CDs, and a beanbag chair. One of the coolest features was that it had a tunnel that led from her room to her brother's room and the bathroom, and a slide that took her to the rec room or the kitchen and divided off for each. To get to the kitchen, you went to the left and ended up on the kitchen floor. If you go straight, you'll go down to the rec room and end up on the carpet. Her room even had a little loft area up above her bed that she could pull down the rope ladder and climb up. In the loft was filled with games, electronic and board and card and every other kind there is. Chairs, sleeping bags, flashlights, a mini fridge with snacks and drinks, a phone, an intercom system, a TV, not quite as large as the other one, but close in size, tons and tons of DVDs, speakers to her stereo set and a remote control to it, an X-Aux 360 with every game imaginable, and there was even a slide to get down. When you opened the closet, it was as big as her regular room. It had all the latest clothes and shoes. It had a TV, a stereo, a phone, an intercom system, and a big, long mirror. From the closet, if you opened the door on the right, it'd take you to the bathroom. The bathroom was huge. It had a jacuzzi bathtub, a huge stone shower with jets from the walls, a waterproof stereo, an intercom system, a TV on the wall by the tub, one of those cool automatic toilets with all these high-tech tricks and gadgets, and a huge bowl sink. From her closet, if you opened the door on the left, there was an elevator that went from her room to any floor in the house. Best of all of this was hers.
You know, if I was a brother, I think I would be not happy for my sister. I think I'd be innately jealous that she was being treated like, essentially like the fucking kid in AI. You know, you're the last human. Whatever you want is yours.
Is this Pee-wee's Playhouse?
I was thinking that too. Like, what the fuck is it?
Why the slide and the tunnels? I mean, okay, now we know that Kayla is writing this story because, you know, all of that is insane. But like, yeah, the slide and the tunnels with like paths leading off of them. And
the X-Aux 360 is pretty crazy.
The X-Aux 360, yeah. It was one of those Chinese knockoffs.
Oh yeah, like the Poly Station. That kind of just speaks for itself.
Wow. Yeah, that's You thought the story was maybe just kind of middling and, boring before, and then all this?
Also, like, fancy automatic toilets, all the gizmos, like Go-Go Gadget, wipe my ass.
Yeah, like how many gizmos are can be on a toilet?
Like, here's the thing. This toilet makes sure you never have to do anything again, right? So she just sits down, doesn't even have to try to shit. It just, manually pulls all of the shit out of you and deposits it.
Yeah. Not only does it have a bidet, but it also shoves a funnel up your ass when you sit down, and a powerful vacuum sucks all the shit out of you.
It's fast, efficient, and high tech. It's not excessively comfortable, but but it's the latest.
It's the latest high tech tricks and gadgets.
fucking clown car of a toilet.
Yeah, you can spend your whole life on this toilet. It'll bring you food and stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I'm imagining just the classic cartoon arm where it's just like a white glove on the end of several pieces, just long bits of metal, and it just reaches around the house, gets you what you need.
Yeah,
fucking that's the most insane thing I ever read.
Her dad. Okay, so this is a very modern story then. Because, she has an Xbox 360. And,
an Xbox 360.
Well, Xbox 360 need to exist for there to be an Xbox 360.
Well, bro, I need you to realize considering how bad Microsoft's naming trends are, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One X, all this fucking horrible names, they probably will call the next one the Xbox 360.
Oh, okay, so this story actually takes place in the future.
Yeah.
I was going to try and figure out, again, when this story takes place, how a 25-year-old should, just be out of college. How is he teaching and also has a mansion? This doesn't make sense.
Well, before all he had was, just a fucking trailer. This is an extension.
Yeah. He took out some home loans to deck Kayla's room out. When it says there was a tunnel from Kayla's room to the other boys' bedroom, that's just the door to her room, because she steps out, and then she's in the trailer, and all the boys' beds are, packed together next to the kitchen.
Yeah. Dude, right. Oyster has an elevator went from her room to any floor in the house. So yeah, is there 100 floors, the great glass elevator?
Yeah, what? There only seem to be 2 floors, the basement and then the main floor. Assuming... you meant the bedrooms were on a second floor. That's still not enough to have an elevator.
Yeah, they live in the Empire State Building.
Yeah, this is like Pee Wee Herman meets Richie Rich meets...
Yeah, Richie Rich, yeah.
Yeah, someone else. Yeah, this is Richie Rich. Richine Rich. What would be the girl version?
Richine?
Yeah,
that's a great name.
Hi, I'm Richine Rich. Richie Rich's long-lost sister. I'm just as rich as him, maybe even more.
Oh, well, it's like Michelle, but it's Rochelle.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Rochelle.
Kayla then slid down to the main floor and gets her shoes on, then she goes out to dinner with her new dad and brothers.
I'm not letting you out of my sight this time, Kayla. You scared me to death last time.
James said, "Good call. Kayla can't live on her own. Just buy her own." Kevin and Kyle gave the approval and agreed. James then took Kayla and her brothers. Has Kayla become the de facto main character?
Yes.
James then took Kayla and her brothers to the park that night after dinner. It was a lot of fun. After wearing themselves out at the park, they go home and get baths. Once they are bathed, James come up to them and says,
"I know you just got baths and have your pajamas on, but come outside. I want to show you something. Make sure you bundle up. It's pretty cold out there."
She goes outside, and James has a huge telescope out. They all look through it. It was amazing. As they were walking side, James said,
"All right, to bed now, kids." I just realized, though, James slipped up. That elevator goes to any room in the house.
Uh-huh.
Any room, she's going to find the Batcave.
Oh. Oh, no.
Because at this point...
he's just Batman, yeah.
Fucking insanely rich. James, aren't we forgetting something? The goodnight kiss?
Yeah, I need you to kiss me, James. French me to sleep, James. Kyle asked James.
What? What are we forgetting? We showed Kayla her room. We took her out to dinner. We forgot the other part. You're right. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh no. God, why do I always get so scared whenever they're planning stuff? James said excitedly.
Okay, Kayla. Go to the rec room and wait.
Kayla obeyed. She went down, and then her brother and James brought down armfuls of gifts.
Dude, this
God. All of this because she walked off and was too dumb to make her way back.
Hey, author, this is pretty pathetic.
Yeah?
You just wrote a story where you don't even do anything. At least other people, when they write their cool OCs, they, like, fight some evil guy and save the world. You wrote a story where you just sit on your ass and people give you shit.
Like, the entire time this is happening, Kevin and Kyle are just, like, chatting with each other, trying to figure out, like, how they're gonna have to get sent to the hospital so that James can deck out their rooms like this.
Yeah, after this, I think I'm going to write my story where Blake and his, two siblings just go around bullshitting, and then somebody just gives me a mansion and a car and a helicopter and...
Yeah, Blake starts out the story like a real just dummy, just, gets kicked around, don't even really get to hear from them. But then, about halfway through, Blake has to go to the hospital, and then all of a sudden, Blake is, showered with gifts, given a whole mansion to himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get an SP3,
Right.
I'll have, a fucking monster truck and, teleporters that teleport me into any room. I'm going to try and upgrade on what I've seen here.
You're going to get to go on the next SpaceX rocket with Elon Musk himself?
Yeah.
You're going to be the first man on Mars?
I'll be so rich, Elon Musk will be my butler.
Yeah. They're going to change the laws of the U.S. so you can become president right now?
Yeah. Just a coup.
Yeah. I became president because I was so cool.
Yeah, and it's like Congress, by unanimous decision, is like, you know what, we've decided to remove all term limits for president and make Blake the eternal president.
Right. Because everybody loves Blake. Just by becoming president, you bring peace to the Middle East?
Yeah. Well, we have a peace treaty going on right now.
Yeah.
I'll solve all the other problems, though, don't worry.
Okay.
It'll be a great story.
Armfuls of gifts. She spent 2.5 hours unwrapping them. After all of it was said and done, James said,
all right, now it's time for bed.
Everyone carries stuff up to Kayla's bedroom and helps her put it away. Then the kids all crawl into bed. James then goes over to Kevin's room and tucks him in, while Kevin is lying on his stone slab with his one tiny little thin sheet over him.
On his pile of straw in the stable.
Yeah.
Also, I found out where James' house was, but James had guns and James sold drugs.
That's what I've been thinking about the whole time, like Froggy Fresh stuff with James. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, Froggy Fresh. Those were the best of times right there.
Yeah.
Fucking good night, Kevin. I love you.
James said, "Night, Dad. Dad. I love you too." Kevin said, yawning. James then goes into Kyle's room and tucks him in.
Again, why are they like, they're 16?
They're fucking 16. Stop doing this, it's weird.
It's because Drake is so cute. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
Good night, Kyle. I love you.
James says.
Night, Dad. Love you too.
Kyle says, shutting his eyes. James goes into Kayla's room last. She's already asleep.
Good night, my little angel. I love you. See you in the morning.
James says. He walks out and goes to bed himself. Good night, myself. I love you too. I'll see you in the morning. Okay. So those were the first 3 chapters of... God, I love how it's like the cherry on top that the story is called I Need Help Coming Up with that Title. Seriously.
You should have called it I'm Entitled and have fantasies where I never actually accomplish anything, but I still become successful.
Yeah. Like...
yeah,
right.
So according to the author's profile, her name is Natalie. I'm pretty sure her middle name is Kayla.
Right. Well, the 3 kids stories is not done yet. That didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? And we'll be covering the rest of this next time.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Thanks for watching, and especially thanks to our Platinum D-holes, Dr. Faust, Hoshkoff, ODST795, Polly Hebert, and Stannis the Manus. With your Patreon money, we just recently got Yella a new microphone, and Blake's setup is getting an upgrade soon. If you contribute on Patreon at any level, you get a sneak peek at our next big project that's currently in the works. Get in early so you don't miss it. Thanks, and stay safe.